All right, Thunder fans, Travis Lonix here, joined by Thunder manager Shawn Chacon, post-game here. 6-2 loss State College. Shawn, again, thanks for joining me tonight after the game. Tough one, 6-2 final score. Loses both these games to State College this weekend. But get to it. You're getting no hit through 7 innings. Break it up there, get a couple of runs late. They scored 2 in the first, 2 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth. We'll start on our starting pitcher, Brendan Parks here. What do you think how his day was?
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on again. It wasn't an ugly loss by any means, but one that you want to win, especially on a nice sunny day here in Trenton. But Brendan Parks, first time seeing him, came in, shook off some of the rust, I guess, and struggled a little bit in that first inning, but settled down nicely. Looked good, calm, collected, commanded the zone for the most part, and I think he'll be better his the next couple outings once he gets a little more comfortable. Yeah,
Parks, lefty, Georgia guy, West Georgia University. His first time here, East Coast of Jersey. So, I saw a big crowd last night. I get to see first couple games here in Trenton. Everything gets settled in.
Yeah, he was anxious too. Last night he was here and he was hyped. He's just chomping at the bit to get out there. So, you go through that when you're in a different part of the country you've never been to before. And in this environment with the Thunder fans and how they show up and their support, like, it can be overwhelming, I think. But he seemed to get it out of his system. And I think, for all the guys that come here for the first time, seeing, a stadium full and the fans like they are, I think it's just a little bit of an adjustment period.
Yeah, his final line, 4 innings, 3 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks, 5 Ks. That first inning, unfortunate, another pickoff move, nice executed. Had him at the plate. Ball dropped there by Sullivan.
Yeah, this is where we're at, man. We're the team right now that any mistake is hurting us, and it's not a hopeless feeling at all. But you just know as a manager that until you start really playing ball and playing well together, little tiny mistakes, they're kind of backbreakers. And ironically, we did pickoffs today in early work. We did relays home, all that stuff. So. You look at it as a kind of a freak thing when you see that pick off and that leads to runs, and then the play at the plate was questionable whether it slid or not. I in talking to Billy Sullivan about it, he might be right. Maybe he should have slid, but in my mind, 2-hand tag and the ball doesn't come out. So we can sit there and complain at the ump all we want, but when it comes down to it, that was an out and we should have had it. But Billy Sullivan knows that, and the adjustments will be made there too, so no worries about that.
Yeah, and 4th inning, mentioned relays there. Made a nice play there. Ball off the wall. And getting a 9-4-2 relay at home plate, the runner.
Yeah, got that one out that time.
Yeah.
I think they were complaining about Sullivan blocking the plate that time, and I was like, nah, you guys aren't calling that stuff again on us, no way.
Collins, the Vega to Sullivan there.
Yeah, good relay, great relay. So again, we worked on that today. So again, as a manager or coach, like, you see those things in the game that you just worked on, and that's a positive feeling. So again, we keep moving forward with this process, man.
Yeah, and a 2-run home run there, and a 4-zip. And then I'm gonna ask about the 5th inning. I put in Luis Misla for Parks. He started Thursday, 73 pitches.
Yeah,
back.
We brought him back because either way it would have been a bullpen day for him. So 73 pitches on Thursday. This being the 4th day, I felt like he needed to come out and get an outing, and more like a bullpen session. I've let the relievers, starters know that we do that, especially in a stretch where you have 12 games in a row. So. Yeah. I don't think he felt his best by any means, but again, this isn't the game or the league where you wait till you feel your best to pitch. You got to come out, you got to compete every day, regardless. So he did what he could. We bring Levette in, to relieve him, and I think the right-handed hitter, who was it? He just dropped his barrel out at a good slider, and poked a little blue base hit into right field. So again. It's just baseball, and there's not only mistake I would say in that whole outing for any pitcher was the 2-run home run that Parks gave up on a hanging changeup, and that was kind of one where he knows himself he wished he could have it back or have executed it better. But outside of that, you go through what what Xavier Levet did, that was outstanding. You keep the team there. You get no hit. He kept putting up zeros, and ultimately, as a team, you take away a victory, whether it's big or small. You didn't win the game, but you did get no hit. You didn't get shut out, and so that's what you try to, enforce on these guys. Okay, we're not even worried about victory here. Let's get a fucking hit. We're not worried about anything. Now let's break up the shutout. And so they did that. So you want to win the games, but you also know that baseball is a long type sport, like marathon type thing. So we carry momentum in tomorrow, and that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Mentioned Xavier Levet, 3 1/3, and throwing 4 hits, no runs, keep the game after that base hit at 6-0. 3 Ks for him. Travis Bells came in 9th inning. Squirrels keep it 6-2. And get a note. You said he hasn't thrown since early May, right?
Yeah, Levet, he hadn't thrown since May, and so he come out every inning he comes out, and he's like, nah, man, nah. He wanted to go out another inning, but that was great for him, and we're going to need him again in a few days, so we didn't want to overthrow him. Yeah, so then no hit through 7 innings, 6-zip game. Hitters, obviously, I give credit to State College. Michael Cavedo, 5 innings, no hit ball, 6 Ks. Yeah, he struggled in the first, and we had him on the ropes.
Walks.
Yeah, and base running error. Collins gets picked off. Base runner will be part of our early work again. But those are things, again, we can't make those mistakes because that could have changed the whole dynamic of the first inning. And if we put runs up there, then it changes the course of the game. But, again, spilled milk, so there's no crying over it. He pitched a good game. He bounced back and pitched really well. Their bullpen came in and did well.
Seemed to a lot of soft contact.
Just keeping them off balance and really frustrating our hitters. So, that was props to him, too.
Yeah, as you mentioned, broke up no hitter, broke up shutout as well. In that 8th inning, Sheffield led off, break it up, base up the middle, and Tucker pitched it, nice bunt there. Vega base hit, got it going. And we talked off air. Gonna get a big hit, a couple RBI ground outs, but just gonna get a big hit.
Right, like I said, you want the small victory. So I'm happy for Chef. I think he was over to that point. And breaking up a no hitter, as I told him late in the game, is a big deal, man. So those small victories, something he could take with him. Put in Jackson Tucker to pinch hit after that, and I kind of had a feeling, he was going to drop a bunt down. We didn't, we don't give him bunt signs, but he's such a smart player that, he knew that it was probably a good time to shake it up, and a little small ball goes a long way. So we were able to get there. Vega base hit, bases loaded. Schroeder hit a ball pretty well. And you get that run in, but you're still looking for a big hit that can drive in 2 or 3 more. But baby steps, man. C.J. Willis didn't strike out. Schroeder didn't strike out. They put the ball in play hard on the ground, get runs in, and that stuff starts to translate into other at-bats and next game, and, sooner or later you get that big hit.
Yeah, sure. Bases. Sure, still a lot of high hopes and confidence in Marinac.
Absolutely. Tough. He's been having a tough road lately, but I like to show these guys that when we see talent and we see ability, that we're going to stick with it, and we're going to see them make adjustments, and keep improving on their progress and sticking with their game plan. So again, 5 games?
5 games.
Yeah,
second half.
It's such a small.
Second half.
Yeah, it's still such a small body of work for any of these guys to start freaking out.
Yeah, 5 games in second half. 5 games into the 12 straight start second half. 2-3 to start. Stay home. Got Williamsport for 2 starting tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. First pitch here at Trenton Thunder Ballpark. Looking forward to that. So again, 6-2 loss tonight following the Spikes. We'll be back at it tomorrow night, 7 o'clock versus the Cross Cutters. Travis Lennox, thanks Shawn Chacon joining me tonight as always. Good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you, Travis. Always happy to be here. And we'll be back fighting again tomorrow night, man. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Let's go. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.